It's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing, it's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
I see the shutdown completely different from maybe my party leadership. And I'm not putting the blame on the president. I'm actually putting the blame on the speaker and Leader Thune in the Senate. We control the House, we control the Senate, we have the White House. I've been vocal saying, you can use the nuclear option in the Senate. This doesn't have to be a shutdown. I absolutely support the president. I campaigned for him for years. But I'm also an action person, and I want my party to solve problems.
And you say he's not getting good advice, though. You told Marjorie. What specifically?
Well, I don't think it's good advice that a government shutdown is going to help Republicans in the midterms. I don't agree with that. I also don't think it's good advice that Republicans ignoring the health insurance crisis is going to be good for midterms. I actually think that would be very bad for midterms. I see the shut.
Hey, I told y'all, people have brains and they also have heart. But you know what? You know what the lion fought for in The Wizard of Oz? Heart. She got the heart to stand up to the Republicans and Donald Trump. Shout out to Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is my new best friend because she is not bowing down to no dictatorship. If y'all just missed it, should I play it again?
Down completely different from maybe my party leadership. And I'm not putting the blame on the president. I'm actually putting the blame on the speaker and Leader Thune in the Senate. We control the House, we control the Senate, we have the White House. I've been vocal saying, you can use the nuclear option in the Senate. This doesn't have to be a shutdown. I absolutely support the president. I campaigned.
I don't know what the nuclear option is, but we're going to Google that real quick.
For him for years. But I'm also an action person, and I want my party to solve problems.
And you say he's not getting good advice, though. You told Marjorie. What specifically?
Well, I don't think it's good advice that a government shutdown is going to help Republicans in the midterms. I don't agree with that. I also don't think it's good advice that Republicans ignoring the health insurance crisis is going to be good for midterms. I actually think that would be very bad for midterms. I see that.
Okay, so the nuclear option is a procedural maneuver, butterfly in the sky. I could go twice as high. Take a look. We didn't know we was gonna get that this early in the video. A procedural maneuver in the U.S. Senate that allows the majority party to overcome a filibuster with a simple majority vote rather than 3/5 supermajority 60 votes typically required. It is also known as the constitutional option by proponents who argue that it allows the Senate to act by majority rules as the Constitution intended. Ooh wee, that sounds crazy. But listen, if they bring out the nuclear option, that means they just wiping everything out. And hey, now that we hear it, we know the nuclear option is on the table. So Americans, beware.
To allow Democrats to have some sort of moral high ground on this issue because they're the only ones talking about it, I think is a major failure from the Republican Party. And I'm not going to stand there and just keep talking the talking points when my own adult children can hardly afford health insurance premiums, when everyone in my district, it's the #1 issue that I hear about day in and day out, not just people on the ACA, but people that have private insurance as well. And I think it's something that we have to talk about. And I don't see why the government needs to be shut down. I really don't. I believe that if Republicans learn to govern and wield power, they can use the nuclear option in the Senate. They can open up the government. We can get back to work for the American people, and Republicans can solve this problem that is a very big problem that we can't ignore.
Hey, let's be honest. Midterms is coming up. Is she trying to get reelected, or is she really for American people? Is she going against MAGA and the Republicans or is she trying to get re-elected? Let's listen to the talking points. Think about it. I don't know. As a black man, I've been tricked by a few white women. Okay, they got me. Yep. They got me for 18 years of child support. They got me for my livelihood. They got me locked up. Looking at white women. White women is a black man's crutch. And we be like, oh yeah, we're gonna cheer her on. Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she got the whitest name. Yeah, and then she just doing this for votes. Is she being honest to us, or is she just doing this for votes? Let's keep listening.
I certainly support the president, but I'm not, what would be the right way to say it? I'm not some sort of blind slave to the president, and I don't think anyone should be. I serve in Congress. We are a separate branch of the government, and I'm not elected by the president. I'm not elected by anyone that works in the White House. I'm elected by my district. That's who I work for. And I got elected without the president's endorsement, and I think that has served me really well. So I get to be independent as a Republican. And I think what helps him the most is when he has people that are willing to be honest with him and not just tell him what they think he wants to hear. I certainly support the president.
She certainly supports the president. I believe her. I believe Marjorie Taylor Greene is fighting for America. Okay? Or since y'all say this is that victim mentality. Yeah, I got victim mentality. Nah, I don't think I want to go there, because it's people in here that really take everything too serious. But I guarantee you, I got some funny jokes, but y'all might cancel me. I don't want to get Jimmy Kimmel in this. I don't want to get Jimmy Kimmel. I want to get these jokes off and not be Jimmy Kimmel. So if y'all can let me get jokes off and stop being... It's Friday night. It's Friday night. We're going to talk about some serious issues, but it's Friday night. Get your punk ass a drink and let's have a good time. Okay?
But I'm one of those that gets real tired of political drama when it's not actually solving a problem. And this is such a crisis that I'm willing to say, okay, everyone, we have to do something about this. It shouldn't be something that we dangle the American people or military pay or all of these things. We shouldn't be dangling them back and forth. We have to fix it. What am I hearing from my constituents? It's great. We track all the calls that come into my office. About 60% of the calls coming in right now are calls of support and saying, yes, health insurance is a crisis. They're telling us stories about how they're already paying $2,000 a month with $10,000 deductibles. I'm getting phone calls from people that are saying if the ACA tax credits expire, they aren't going to be able to have health insurance. They're going to have to drop it. But I'm hearing from people on both sides, people already on the ACA and people that are already getting crushed by high health insurance premiums.
There's a reporting that President Trump, as you know, recently called at least two senior Republicans to ask, and I'm quoting now from these reports, what's going on with Marjorie, end quote. Have you talked to the president about this issue personally? It's obviously so personal for you.
Well, the president has my cell phone number, and he's called me many, many times. So if he wants...
Recently? How recent?
I don't get into that.
No. Whenever Marjorie was front and center for Trump, he was on her line. You know what? He was probably trying to grab her by the... But, listen. When Marjorie was front line for Trump, he was calling her, hey, you're doing a great job. Now, when she spoke up about the Epstein files, he was like, block that bitch. Block her. Block her.
kind of details, but he knows how to call me and he can ask me himself.
You say he's not getting good advice, though. You told Marjorie. What specifically?
Well, I don't think it's good advice that a government shutdown is going to help Republicans in the midterms. I don't agree with that. I also don't think it's good advice that Republicans ignoring the health insurance crisis is going to be good for midterms. I actually think that would be very bad for midterms. And I think that just not staying focused on America First policies is detrimental as well. The inflation crushed people in the past 4.5 years, and the costs have not come down.
All right, if you're new here, please misspell cuss words in the chat, and we're going to keep it lit. But yes, she's being honest. For once, she's being honest. Like, forget she's trying to get reelected. She's like, all right, I need to get reelected, so let me be honest. I'ma still ride for MAGA, but MAGA, we need to like come to some type of resolution, because what is going on is still the truth. It may not be what we want, but it's still the truth. Let's figure it out. Let's come to a happy medium. And that's what politicians are supposed to do. They're not supposed to be throwing jabs at women like Jasmine Crockett. Well, we know Marjorie and Jasmine, they have this feud that's been going on for the past 2 years. So, listen, at this point, Jasmine back there like, look at this. Look at this. Jasmine's silent as a church mouse, because she watching everything unfold under MAGA.
You've been such a close ally of the president's. Are you worried about being on the opposite side of him on some of these issues?
I've supported the president for the longest time. I was one of the only Republicans in Washington that did not turn my back on him after January 6th. I traveled the country spending millions of my own dollars supporting Donald Trump, helping him get elected. And I think I'm still supporting him now by saying Republicans in the House and Senate need to do their job and come up with a solution for the American people. And I'm supporting him with my policies. Being against the Ukraine war, he was saying he wanted to end that war from day one. Being against foreign wars, he's always said he's against foreign wars. So a lot of my stances actually support the president a lot more than perhaps maybe some people on his own White House staff and a lot of these Republicans that just put their MAGA hats on literally a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, I wondered.
Oh, she calling them out. She calling them out. Listen. This is why you don't mess with volatile white women. Volatile white women will blow up your spot. They'll flip on you in a drop of a hat. I know this. I know this firsthand. I'm just playing. I rock with Dr. Umar.
Do you think that he's maybe straying from some of those MAGA principles that you're fighting for?
I've never speak on behalf of the president, but I don't think he's always getting the best advice.
From his staff?
Possibly, yeah.
You've been such a close ally of the president's. Are you?
The staff ain't doing. The chief of staff, Stephen Miller, is the worst advisor he's ever had. He should just bring Sarah Huckabee back. Bring Sarah Huckabee back. God damn it, because Stephen Miller, he just be yapping at the mouth. It's a evil person on a cartoon that my kids be watching. I don't know his name, but he like blue and he got a big ass head. That's Stephen Miller. That's Stephen Miller.
What happened on October 7th is absolutely horrific. And of course our hearts go out to those families and those hostages that remain. But at the same time, the relentless bombing of the Palestinian people, and many of them have been just innocent people. They're not Hamas. They're literally women and children, and you can't unsee the amount of pictures and videos of children that have been blown to pieces and or they're finding them dead in the rubble. Those aren't actors. That isn't fake war propaganda. It's very real. And I think that is equally horrific. I want to see an end to it, and I think most Americans do.
Okay? Standing up to Israel is against MAGA. MAGA stands with Israel. And she's like, hey, it's women and children over there. She used the key words. It's women and children. We've been talking about these. It's women and children over there. Forget the men. Like, Negroes ain't shit. I ain't talking about black men. I'm talking about. I don't want to use the word because I'm trying to not to be like. I'm trying to be more like. I'm trying to be FCC regulated. You know. Because they shut down, mother. If you go against Donald Trump, your ass gets shut down. Okay? But anyway, it is sad what's happened over. I want to get into that, but I don't want to get into that because I told y'all, Charlie Kirk, Nick Cannon, Kanye West. I'm just PJ. I got a regular day job. Like, seriously, like, I ain't making millions. I don't want to get into that just yet, but we're going to get into it.
She also said, that is to say, Marjorie Taylor Greene, that it is incumbent upon Republicans to negotiate with Democrats to avoid premium increases destined for Americans who currently receive enhanced Obamacare subsidies. Now, you've implied that Congresswoman Greene's not fully read in on all the health care specifics. Is that still your position, that she's not really read in enough to have an opinion on that?
Well, I don't know what Marjorie has reviewed. I know she's not on the committees of jurisdiction who spend every hour of every day around the clock specializing on these issues and doing a lot of work and deliberation on it. Major, I want to tell you, we were always preparing to have those debates in the month of October and November. That's an end-of-the-year policy issue. Those subsidies don't run out. They're not exhausted until December 31st. So it's a red herring. It's a distraction to the very simple matter of keeping the lights on before the end of the fiscal year deadline, September 30th. Democrats are using that to obscure that issue so that they can show a fight against Trump. It's a complete red herring. It's a complete distraction. It doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing right now. What they're doing, though, is real harm, not just to American people who are not receiving the services, but they're also eating up a lot of the clock in the month of October, where everyone would be here, productively debating and determining how to bring down costs in Obamacare, which is failing the people. It's an admission by the Democrats, by the way, that they need subsidies because premiums have risen 60% since Obamacare was created in 2010. It did not do as promised. It did exactly the opposite.
This is MGT's biggest hater right here. This guy, Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson and Stephen Miller are about the same height as 4'10". It's been confirmed. And I think one of them may be 4'10", one of them may be 4'11". But when they stand next to the bleach blonde, bad built, bush body, they don't compare. They're not real men. MGT is MTG? MTG is more man than Mike Johnson and Stephen Miller. Let's give a round of applause for MTG. Okay? Put your hand claps in the chat, because she calling them out. She calling this guy out. She's called him out once. She's called him out twice. She's called him out 3 times. And then he shifts subjects. He's scared. He's scared. He's scared of the truth. He's scared of the president in chief, or whatever you call him. He's scared. Listen. Mike Johnson knows how to deal with white women. Hakeem Jeffries don't. If MTG get on Hakeem Jeffries, he better run.
Insurance across the board is crushing people. The cost of living is gone so high in the past 4.5 years, and it hasn't come down. Rent is unaffordable. You can't buy a home. A lot of people don't even know if they'll ever be able to buy a home. But insurance premiums are unbelievably high.
Up and to the right.
Yep, and they're looking to go up. Not only people on the ACA, but people that have private plans as well. This is the #1 issue I hear about in my district. I work for Georgia's 14th district, and so I'm willing to take off team jerseys, so to speak, right now and call it literally like it is.
She said, I'm taking off the MAGA hat. I'm taking off the MAGA hat and fighting for my constituents in my community, the people who voted for me. Why? It's voting season. It's voting season. Is she being authentic, or is she just fighting for votes? Y'all be the judge.
This is a crisis in America, and I really want to work on it.
So privately, are you hearing Republicans tell you, yeah, you're right, or have you not heard that yet?
I've only talked to a few people today. They agree with me, but to be honest with you, since the government is shut down, we haven't had much conversation, much communication at all within our conference, which I also think is a major problem.
'Cause they on vacation. They on vacation. They on vacation.
The House is not in session. We should be. We should be working on appropriations. That's important to me. I really want to get appropriations, tax dollars back to my district. And I also think we have other important work to do. So I was largely against the CR. I want to do appropriations. And I don't think the government should be shut down right now.
So how do you are... Republicans don't want to tie this issue to funding. You obviously think this is an issue. It has to be taken up at the end of the year. Do you think this should be tied to the funding battle now, or get the government open and then deal with it later?
Right. Well, so I'm coming from a business background. I believe in walking and chewing gum at the same time. I think we should be able to work on all of this at the same time. What I am doing is sounding the alarm bells. This is a major crisis in America. When people are working paycheck to paycheck, they can't make ends meet, and we are looking at a massive spike in health insurance premiums. It's going to crush people. They're going to have to drop their health insurance, and that could put a lot of people in danger of being bankrupt with hospital bills or health care bills. And I don't think that's the right way to treat the American people. We're elected by them. Their taxpayer dollars fund our paychecks. They fund the entire government. And I believe the American people deserve better.
So I hear your point.
You hear that? She said, we are elected by them. Elections is coming up. What are y'all going to do? Are y'all going to bite the bait? Okay? Are y'all going to bite the bait? Look, there's in the black community, there's a saying where, I don't know, it's a saying, stirring of the teacup. If you know what stirring of the teacup means, put teacups in the chat. Are we gonna be stirred up with the teacup? Are we being hypnotized? Are we being hypnotized by Marjorie Taylor Greene, or is she being truthful? Okay. This is a prime example of Get Out. Is this Get Out? Is this a Get Out moment? Is America under a Get Out moment, or is she being real? We got to talk about that. Think about it. Think about it.
The House Speaker Mike Johnson just spoke with our Leland Vittert. Full interview later tonight here on News Nation, but I want to play a part of that for you and get your reaction on the other side.
There is no daylight between House Republicans, Senate Republicans, President Trump, and the White House. We're united, and that's why we're winning this fight, and it's an important one for the American people. With regard to the subsidies, remember, that is 100% a red herring. It's a distraction. This is what Chuck Schumer and the Democrats put together to try to make the issue of the day.
He said the issue of the subsidies, that you couldn't hear it, so he said the issue of the subsidies is a red herring. and it's something essentially that Chuck Schumer and Democrats are talking about right now.
Well, no, the issues of the subsidies are real. It's not something that anybody can say is made up. Also, people with regular or private plans, their premiums are looking to go up a median of 18%. That's brutal. I know a lot of small business owners, like a family of four, and they're paying $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month with deductibles of $7,000 to $10,000, and approximately 40% of these people don't even use their health insurance. So they're just burning money just in case they might have cancer, or just in case they have a terrible car accident. And then you've got single moms, many Americans that are really struggling that are on the ACA. If you double their health insurance or even triple it, these people are they're either going to have to drop it, or they're going to be choosing between rent and their health insurance.
Man, you know why I won't become a full-time YouTuber and I stay working at my job at McDonald's is because I get provided with health insurance for me and my 8 kids. For me and my 8 kids, I get provided with health insurance that only costs me $600 a month versus quitting my job and then going to paying private. She said $2,000 for 4. Bitch, I got 8, and myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? You think I want to pay $4,000 worth of insurance when I can just pay $600? So I got to keep a job, and I can't do this full time. Could y'all imagine watching me every day? That would be, I know that would be hella good, but I can't afford it. I can't afford it. Okay? I do pay for my own kids. I got a job. I'm not on welfare. Like, I didn't say I was on welfare. I said I got insurance through my job. Like, it don't make sense. Make it make sense.
We track all the calls that come into my office. About 60% of the calls coming in right now are calls of support and saying, yes, health insurance is a crisis. They're telling us stories about how they're already paying $2,000 a month with $10,000 deductibles. I'm getting phone calls from people that are saying if the ACA tax credits expire, they aren't going to be able to have health insurance. They're going to have to drop it. But I'm hearing from people on both sides, people already on the ACA and people that are already getting crushed by high health insurance premiums. Control the House. We control.
I'm telling y'all, when she's saying this, the health insurance premium that I have, or the deductible that I have, in order for my daughter to have the surgery that she needs, I have to pay $7,000. So no, not $7,000. What I say? It was like $500. It's like $8,000. So now I have to make a payment plan for that $8,000 to meet the deductible. That's insane with insurance. So she's not joking. Like, this shit is high, and I'm like, damn. But I gotta do it. I don't have no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, y'all gotta think about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If it gotta be done, it gotta be done. I gotta do it. Is it expensive? Yes. I'm an American citizen. Yes. Do I need cheaper healthcare coverage and assistance? Yes, but it's not happening. So I gotta pay it. It's just life. But if it goes up next year, bruh, like, think about this, people.
The Senate, we have the White House. When it comes to hearing from senior citizens or my own friends and neighbors and my own family members and people that voted for me, and they're just saying, Marjorie, we just really want somebody to do something about health insurance premiums. We really want our government and our leaders to actually focus on our country for a change and fix our problems. That is the message I constantly hear from my district. And
oh, we gonna get to where she talking about our country. Like, we gonna get to that.
I'm a representative. I don't have to be a cheerleader for my party. I have to represent my district because those are the people that hired me and sent me here. And I myself, I agree with them, and I'm pretty much over It's just drama constantly on TV. I don't think it's good advice that a government shutdown is going to help Republicans in the midterms. I don't agree with that. I also don't think it's good advice that Republicans ignoring the health insurance crisis is going to be good for midterms. I actually think that would be very bad for midterms. And I think that just not staying focused on America First policies is detrimental as well.
Yeah, and on that note, are you concerned about the cost of living? Are you,
Very.
that the President Trump said he would lower?
The inflation crushed people in the past 4.5 years, and the costs have not come down. I myself can tell you my apartment here in Washington, D.C., the electricity bill is $100 more than it was last year, because you can look at your own bill and look at cost.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but y'all better start going green, okay? Going green, okay. $20,000 or $30,000 is a lot of money for most American people, right? But if you're paying, let's say $5,000 a year on your electric bill, why not pay $5,000 a year going green? Like, cause in the end, it's what's gonna go on in the future. Y'all gotta get it. Y'all better get ahead of time. Mind you, my solar panel, the bill for my solar panel is $140 a month. My electric bill was $27 this month. Okay, so when you average that out, that's only $1,400 plus another two, so about $1,600 a year for my solar panels. Throughout the year, I'm paying like another $300 for a year. So $1,700 or $1,900 a year versus $5,000. Cause y'all's electric bill high as hell. I've seen people with $300-$400 every month since June. Or not since June, since May. I mean January, February, March. Since March. I had to do my math. Since March, $300 electric bills. Shit, and just between March and this month right now, shit, you done paid off your solar panels for the year. But you know who don't want y'all to go electric? I ain't gonna tell y'all, but I'm telling y'all, it's coming. Y'all better think positive. Y'all better think better.
Costs have not come down. I myself can tell you my apartment here in Washington, D.C., the electric, putting the blame on the Speaker and Leader Thune in the Senate. This should not be happening. And I don't think, look, as a member of Congress, we already have a low enough job approval rating. This shutdown is just going to drive everybody's approval rating that much lower.
Yes. But so you're putting the blame on the leadership of your party.
Absolutely. We control the House. We control the Senate. We have the White House. I've been vocal saying, you know, you can use the nuclear option in the Senate. This doesn't have to be a shutdown. But what we have to do is we have to work for the American.
You guys, what is happening with Marjorie? Why is she all of a sudden riding so hard for Democrats? Like, I'm not complaining, you guys. I'm all for it, but why? Like, what happened? What did she not get done that made her just completely flip? You guys, she is calling out her party leadership flat out. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. This is on the Republican leadership. Because they're all trying to make this about illegal immigrants getting health care, and it's just not what is happening. But I'm all for it. Marjorie, tell us everything you know. Say all the names on the House floor. We're here for it all, please.
Putting the blame on the Speaker.
How did we go from this to this?
I'm not some sort of blind slave to the president, and I don't think anyone should be. I serve in Congress. We're a separate branch of the government, and I'm not elected by the president. I'm not elected by anyone that works in the White House. I'm elected by my district. That's who I work for. And I got elected without the president's endorsement, and you know, I think that has served me really well.
Mega MAGA loyalist Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene has once again broken from her own party, kind of a new trend. In an ongoing standoff over the government shutdown that most Republicans have repeatedly called a Democrat shutdown, MTG has actually sided with Democrats in calling for an extension of the Affordable Care Act subsidies and been very critical of the shutdown.
I don't see why the government needs to be shut down. I really don't. I believe that if Republicans learn to govern and wield power, they can use the nuclear option in the Senate. They can open up the government. We can get back to work for the American people, and Republicans can solve this problem.
Now, in a long post on X, she also said the following, quote, "When the tax credits expire this year, my own children's insurance premiums for 2026 are going to double, along with all the wonderful families and the hardworking people in my district. Not a single Republican leadership talked to us about this or has given us a plan to help Americans," end quote. Like I said, this is actually not the first time she has publicly spoken about the Trump administration. It really broke with them. Remember, she zeroed in on the DOJ's handling of the Epstein files, and she was not happy.
The truth needs to come out, and the government holds the truth. The cases that are sealed hold the truth. Jeffrey Epstein's estate holds the truth. The FBI, the DOJ, and the CIA holds the truth. And the truth we are demanding come out.
Yeah, that was Marjorie Taylor Greene. And back in June, she denounced Trump's decision to attack Iran's nuclear facilities, again posting on X, quote, "It feels like a complete bait and switch to please the beacons, the warmongers, military-industrial complex contracts, and neocon TV personalities that MAGA hates and who were never Trumpers," end tweet. I mean, this for me is a wow. Here we are with the cracks growing between ex-Trump super loyalist Marjorie Taylor Greene. She called Trump, you know, she was his biggest fan in Congress, and the GOP. So the question is, what could they break on next? Could healthcare actually be the thing that causes a real rift, a true break within the MAGA party? We'll soon find.
I mean, we're going to talk about that tonight. I'm going to get a live call in, but I just want to understand. Are y'all understanding what's going on? Like, is the stronghold not as strong as we really thought? Like, we thought MAGA was MAGA, right? But now I'm not going to say nothing rose during Biden's presidency, like nothing went wrong. I mean, we can actually write a Santa's list of things that went wrong during Joe Biden's presidency. Everything that went wrong is longer than a CVS receipt, okay? But when I think it's all a trickle down effect from everything that started from when Obama took presidency to the fights that was on the hill all the way into Trump's presidency, into Joe Biden's presidency, and back into Trump's presidency again. And it's been downhill. And you know what? Our prices are going uphill. You know, if you ever rode bikes and you ride uphill and you lower the gears so you can pedal easy, that's our inflation. It's pedaling easy to the top.